Okay, hello everybody. Feliz Dia de Nieve. Happy snow day. I'm going to go through this very quickly, and I may forget to say to you to pause me, but after everything that you are supposed to answer, please pause me. Process it. If you don't process it, you're not going to get the full value of this. So, here we go. Look on your book, please, in page 77 en su libro, por favor, en la página 77. We missed this exercise of the day, so I want to go back to it. I'm going to tell you what I want you to say, and then you will pause me and say it. So the first thing I want you to say, looking at 3-5 en la página 77, what is a group of students doing? A group of students is playing volleyball. ¿Qué hace un grupo de estudiantes? Un grupo de estudiantes juega al voleibol. Next one I want you to say is, what are Luisa and Soledad doing? And I want you to respond, Luisa and Soledad are riding a bike. ¿Qué hacen Luisa y Soledad? Luisa y Soledad andan en bicicleta. Muy bien. And the next one. What is Margarita doing? Margarita is running. ¿Qué hace Margarita? Margarita corre. The next one. What are Andres and Carlos doing? And I want you to say Andres and Carlos are swimming. ¿Qué hacen Andrés y Carlos? Andrés y Carlos nadan. N-A-D-A-N. And I did leave the S off of Andrés there. Sorry about that. What are Miguel and Marta doing? And I want you to respond, Miguel and Marta are skating. ¿Qué hacen Miguel y Marta? Miguel y Marta patinan. Or you could say patinan en línea. En línea means inline skating. And the next question. What is Mr. Martinez doing? And you're going to respond, Mr. Martinez is walking in the park. ¿Qué hace el señor Martínez? El señor Martínez camina en el parque. Okay, muy bien. And hopefully you were able to look back, get a little more practice of the vocabulary on that one. We're going to move on now to some of the grammar that we've looked at. So, where we left off on the grammar was on 324, 3-25 en la página 87. La página 87, por favor. 3-24. Instead of doing this like the book is asking us to do it, I'm going to tell you what I want you to say, and we're going to be using the irregular yo forms of the verbs. And so you'll have those on page 86 so that you pueden ver los verbos en la página 86 y van a contestar según yo les digo en inglés. Okay, here's our first one. This is what I want you to say. I have a small family. I have 2 brothers and 3 cousins. I have 1 pet. Tengo una familia pequeña. Tengo 2 hermanos y 3 primos. Tengo una mascota. And I just noticed that the first one should be tengo, not tenga. Tengo una familia pequeña. Número 2, this is what I want you to say. I have to study a lot. Remember, tener que. I have to do a lot of homework. I ask, using the verb hacer preguntas. I go, using the verb ir, to class in the afternoons. I know, using the verb conocer. I know a lot of people in my Spanish class. Tengo que estudiar mucho. Tengo que hacer mucha tarea. Hago muchas preguntas en la clase o en clase. Voy a clase por las tardes. Conozco a muchas personas en mi clase de español. And again, please pause me. Don't just wait for me to give you the answer. That's not going to help you. Say this one. In my free time, I go out with my friends and I practice sports. I go to a lot of parties. I watch movies with my friends. And again, picking up the verbs on page 86. En mi tiempo libre, salgo con amigos y practico deportes. Voy a muchas fiestas. Miro películas con mis amigos. Okay, muy bien. 3-25 en la misma página, la página 87, por favor, entrevista. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to read the question to you from the book. I'm going to tell you what it says to make sure that you understand. Then I'm going to tell you how to respond to it. Pause me before you respond, please. Número uno, ¿cuándo haces planes para el fin de semana? When do you do plans or when do you make plans for the weekend? And this is what I want you to say. I make plans for the weekend on Monday. Hago planes para el fin de semana el lunes. The second part, ¿qué vas a hacer este fin de semana? What are you going to do this weekend? This is what I want you to respond. This weekend, I'm going to study. Use the future tense. Este fin de semana voy a estudiar. And the next part says, ¿vas a estar en casa o vas a salir? Are you going to be at home or are you going to go out? Please respond. I'm going to be at home. Future tense. Voy a estar en casa. And the next part, ¿sales mucho durante la semana? Do you go out a lot during the week? And I want you to respond. No, I don't go out a lot during the week. No, no salgo mucho durante la semana. Muy bien. And number two, número dos, cuando tienes una fiesta, ¿qué tipo de música pones? When you have a party, what kind of music do you play or do you put on? And this is what I want you to respond. When I have a party, there's one conjugation. I play, there's another conjugation, rap music, and it's música rap. Cuando tengo una fiesta, pongo música rap. Two conjugations, notice. And the next part is, ¿llevan tus amigos comida a la fiesta? Do your friends carry food to the party? And this is what I want you to respond. Yes, my friends carry food to the party. Sí, mis amigos llevan comida a la fiesta. And the next question says, ¿saben tus padres que vas a tener una fiesta? Do your parents know that you're going to have a party? And this is why I would like for you to respond. No, my parents don't know I'm going to have a party. Excuse me. Two verbs. My parents don't know. I'm going to have a party. Two conjugations. No, mis padres no saben que voy a tener una fiesta. Next question. ¿Sabe tu compañero de cuarto? Does your roommate know? And this is how I want you to respond. Yes, my roommate knows. One conjugation. Sí, mi compañero de cuarto sabe. Next question. ¿Siempre conoces a todas las personas de la fiesta? Do you always know all the people from the party? This is how I want you to respond. Yes, I always know all the people from the party. Be careful with the personal A. Sí, siempre conozco a todas las personas de la fiesta. Question number 3. Cuando haces ejercicio, ¿sales de tu cuarto? When you do exercise, do you leave your room? And notice I've said when you do exercise because that's the way we say it in Spanish. In English, we simply say when I exercise, but I'm emphasizing when you do exercise. So here's how I want you to respond. Yes, when I do exercise, one conjugation, I leave my room, another conjugation. Sí, cuando hago ejercicio, salgo de mi cuarto. Next question. ¿Ves videos cuando haces ejercicio? Do you watch videos when you do exercise? Response, no, I don't watch videos when I do exercise. Two conjugations. No, no veo videos cuando hago ejercicio. And the last one says, ¿pones la tele o el estéreo cuando haces ejercicio? Do you put the TV or the stereo on when you do exercise? Please respond. I put the TV on when I do exercise. Two conjugations. Pongo la tele cuando hago ejercicio. And skipping over to saber and conocer, if you haven't reviewed those since class, these are the ones we talked about in class. Make sure that you take a moment to review to when to use saber and when to use conocer. I'm going to tell you what I want you to say here. We're going to start with 328, 3-28. And in the first one, jugar al voleibol. Know how to play volleyball. Would you use saber, conocer? Right, you would say saber. So I want you to say, I know how to play volleyball. Sé jugar al voleibol. And you could say, yo sé jugar al voleibol. That's perfectly right. Número dos, hablar portugués. Would you use saber or conocer? Correcto, you would use saber. So please say, I know how to speak Portuguese. Sé hablar portugués. Juanes. Juanes is a Colombian singer. So would you, if you wanted to say, I know Juanes, would you use conocer or saber? Perfecto. You would use conocer because Juanes is a person. So please say, I know Juanes. Conozco a Juanes. Personal A is in there. Please notice that. Número 4. Bailar el tango. To dance tango. Please say, I know how to dance tango. Sé bailar el tango. Número 5. La música de Shakira. To know Shakira's music. Would you use saber or conocer? Muy bien. You would use conocer because if you're referring to someone's music, art, literature, or if you're talking about that you know a place, that you've been to a place, you would use conocer. So you would say something like this. Conozco la música de Shakira. So what would you do if you wanted to say, I know Shakira? Correcto. You would say, conozco a Shakira, because now you're talking about the person, and you would put a personal A there. Número 6, Cali, Colombia. This is a place. Would you use saber o conocer? Correcto. You would use conocer. Now please say, I know Cali, Colombia. Conozco Cali, Colombia. Muy bien. Número 7, el nombre de la capital de Colombia. The name of the capital of Colombia. Would you use saber or would you use conocer? Muy bien. You would use saber because you are knowing information. You are knowing a fact, the name of it. So now say, I know the name of the capital of Colombia. Sé el nombre de la capital de Colombia. What if you were saying, I know the capital, as if you have been there? Correcto. You would say, conozco la capital de Colombia. Now it changes from knowing information to knowing a place. Número 8. La literatura de Gabriel García Márquez. The literature of Gabriel García Márquez. Would you use saber o conocer? Correcto. You would use conocer. So please say, I know Gabriel García Márquez literature. Conozco la literatura de Gabriel García Márquez. Muy bien. So what if you wanted to say, I know Gabriel García Márquez, like personally or something? Muy bien. Conozco a Gabriel García Márquez because he's a person, or was a person. He's dead now. And you would use the personal A. Excelente. Now, what if we wanted to go through with other subjects? What if we wanted to say Marcos knows how to play volleyball, knows how to speak Portuguese, knows Juanes? Pause me and go through and see if you can do these by substituting Marcos. Okay, welcome back. Marcos sabe jugar al voleibol. Marcos sabe hablar portugués. Marcos conoce a Juanes. Marcos sabe bailar el tango. Marcos conoce la música de Shakira. Marcos conoce Cali, Colombia. Marcos sabe el nombre de la capital de Colombia. Marcos conoce la literatura de Gabriel García Márquez. Now do the same thing with you, the to form, tú. Pause me and then come back. Okay, muy bien. Bienvenidos de regreso. Welcome back. Tú sabes jugar al voleibol. Tú sabes hablar portugués. Tú conoces a Juanes. Tú sabes bailar el tango. Tú conoces la música de Shakira. Tú conoces Cali, Colombia. Tú sabes el nombre de la capital de Colombia. Tú conoces la literatura de Gabriel García Márquez. Excelente. Now, if you wanted to do the same thing with we, and I'm just going to tell you, and instead of going through them, you would use a combination of sabemos and conocemos. If you were using they, you would use a combination of saben, en, and conocen, en. Muy, muy bien. Just a few more on 329, and I'm going to tell you what I want you to ask or say. On the first one, ask, do you know California? Meaning, have you been to California? Muy bien, ¿conoces California? No personal A, it's not a person. Do you know how to swim? ¿Sabes nadar? Do you know Picasso's art? ¿Conoces el arte de Picasso? Notice no personal A. If you're asking, do you know Picasso? You would use a personal A. Do you know my brother? ¿Conoces a mi hermano? Do you know do you know that today is Thursday? ¿Sabes que hoy es jueves? Do you know the name of the capital of Georgia? ¿Sabes el nombre de la capital de Georgia? Okay, muy bien. So hopefully you're a little bit more familiar now with those, the use of saber and conocer, and I'm going to give you some more opportunities to practice or show you where you can find some more opportunities to practice. Okay, before we do 333, you've had some opportunities to look at expressing time with whether, hacer, and estar. And guys, I'm just going to tell you, just like every other part of the book when we come to this is very simply a memorization. This is vocabulary. They put it in there as structure, but it really is vocabulary. So just to hear the pronunciation, let me go through the months of the year, the seasons with you, and then some of these expressions, and then we'll do a little bit of practice, okay? So looking at the months of the year, los meses, enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Okay, muy bien. And I'll go a little bit slower to give you an opportunity to repeat. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Now let's look at the seasons of the year. We'll do the same thing. El invierno, la primavera, el verano, el otoño. You will notice that we do use the verb hacer to talk about the weather. So, the use of hacer. Hace buen tiempo. Hace fresco. Hace calor. Hace sol. Hace frío. Hace viento. When it comes to the words llover and nevar, those are used as true verbs. Llueve, it's raining. Nieva, it's snowing. The noun forms, la nieve, la lluvia. And you probably noticed at the very beginning I said happy snow day, feliz día de nieve. Nieve, okay? And the verb estar is used to indicate when the sky is overcast or clear. Está despejado. Está nublado. All right, so we're going to skip over to 33. And what we're going to do here, 333, la realidad y la fantasía. And so I'm going to tell you what I want you to say, but basically it's going to be something like the modelo. Me gusta descansar los sábados, pero tengo que estudiar. I like to rest on Saturday. So you're using the construction me gusta, but I have to, tener que, remember that construction? That's what you're going to have to say. And we're going to do this with the seasons or times of the day. All right, so here we go. Número uno. In summers, I like to swim, but I have to visit my grandparents. Please pause me on all these. En los veranos, me gusta nadar, pero tengo que visitar a mis abuelos. On weekends, I like to dance, but I have to study. En los fines de semana me gusta bailar, pero tengo que estudiar. In the afternoons, I like to rest, but I have to attend class. Por las tardes me gusta descansar, pero tengo que asistir a clase. And you could have also said en las tardes. I think that would have been okay there also. On holidays, I like to go out with my friends, but I have to work. En los feriados me gusta salir con mis amigos, pero tengo que trabajar. And I left out an A there. And also, I used a different word for holidays. Los días festivos, you could say they're also feriados, is another word for holidays. So, en los días festivos me gusta salir con mis amigos, pero tengo que trabajar. In the morning, I like to sleep, but I have to clean. En la mañana me gusta dormir, pero tengo que limpiar. Okay? And again, I realize you've done some practice in Kia with this, and I'm going to give you or show you where you can get some more practice with this if you need it. Okay, so here's what your test is going to look like. The first one will be listening comprehension, true or false. You'll still be able to choose the answers in English. At this point, we are going to start moving toward more and more Spanish really, really quickly, particularly on tests and especially in class, because that's a transition we're going to make. But for right now, it's in English. Part 2, vocabulary, you'll determine if a statement is logical or illogical. So, for example, tomo sol en la lluvia. I sunbathe in the rain. Well, that's not logical, so you would put illogical. Part 3, write in the correct form of gustar according to the situation. Be sure to include the indirect object pronoun. A mi padre blank bailar. My dad likes to dance. So you would put in le gusta. What if you were putting in he likes sports? Yeah, it would be a mi padre le gustan los deportes. So you got to know which form of gustar and which indirect object pronoun to put in there. Part 4, choose the correct form of ir, a la, a las, al, a los. This is actually matching. You will have a column that you'll look in. So nosotros vamos al teatro. So what would happen if you were going to the library? It would be nosotros vamos a la biblioteca. That's what you're choosing. Part 5, fill in the blank with the correctly conjugated form of the irregular verb. And it is the first person irregular. That's what it's going to be always. Those are the ones that I really want you to focus in on, so you make sure that you memorize those. Part 6, write the correctly conjugated form of saber or conocer to complete each statement. First and foremost, you got to get the correct verb. Is it saber or is it conocer? Then you have to conjugate it correctly according to the subject. Part 7, for the given weather situations, describe if the following statement is cierto or falso. For example, en el verano nieva mucho en Dalton, Georgia. Obviously, that one says in the summertime it snows a lot in Dalton. Well, that's falso. Reading comprehension, this will be multiple choice. And part 9, writing, you're going to write 7 sentences about activities that you like to do in different seasons. Name at least one thing you generally do when the weather is bad, one thing you do when the weather is good. Remember, if you like to do it, you're going to use the verb gustar. And tell where you do each activity and with whom you do it. So, for example, just to say, en el verano me gusta jugar voleibol en el parque con mis amigos. That's one sentence. Summertime, I like to play volleyball in the park with my friends. En el invierno me gusta tomar café en la casa con mi familia. In the wintertime, I like to drink coffee at home with my family. So the combination of things to do, when you like to do them, and with whom you like to do them. And then finally, extra credit with viajemos. All right, so here's where you can find some additional help. You'd ask for some additional review. So I'm going to try my best to send these to you via email. Sometimes my email doesn't like to send group messages. So if you don't get it by email, go into Georgia View. Go under the tab that says Syllabus and Miscellaneous Files and look for Chapter 3 Review Actividades. These are the ones at the end of the chapter of the book. And you attempt to do them first on your own. Then I'm going to send you the answers and you can check yourself. Also in Georgia View, remember you can find the grammar review links. There's YouTubes that you can look at. And then also the textbook has a test prep. You go to Google, you type in Viajes, Introducción al Español. Make sure that you access the first edition for the free resource. And as always, you can text me, please let me text you back or try to call you if I need to call you. Don't because if you call me, I may be in a meeting or something. So please text me first. Have a great week off. Make sure that you study for the test. It is the Tuesday that we come back.